just from the eye test, it looks like things aren't coming as easy for you this year. Is that a safe way to look at it? That things aren't.
I feel it's a lot of with schemes. We're going against defenses. They calling out our plays, stuff like that. Like they know what we're doing. So a lot of that, sometimes stuff won't go our way if they beat us to the punch.
So you're hearing on the other side of the line of scrimmage the defense calling out your plays? That's what
they definitely do. Like runs, stuff like that. Watch out for this, watch out for that. Sometimes that's what's going on.
So how do you combat that, Lamar?
So I guess we're going to halftime and let coach, let us know what he sees upstairs, and we just go from there.
It's Lamar Jackson with Rich Eisen earlier today. That is never good when your offense is sufficiently predictable that through film study, the opposing defense knows what you are going to do. It's incumbent on an offensive coordinator to change things up, to run different plays out of different formations, and that's what defensive players always do. They study the film, they look at the alignment, they look at the way people stand, they look for anything and everything. That's part of this Where's Waldo exercise that I find fascinating. One of the great players in NFL history at spotting stuff like that is Chris Spielman. I've talked to him about that before. He would find the dumbest little tells that would let him know what's going to happen when the ball is snapped. And if the defense has that, just even if it's run versus pass, doesn't have to be where the ball is going to go, just run versus pass. If you know that's coming, you've got a huge edge over the offense. And it sounds like Greg Roman needs to get back to the laboratory and come up with some different formations or different looks to disguise pre-snap what the play is going to be, Shireen.
How many phone calls do you think Lamar Jackson has gotten from Greg Roman and John Harbaugh today? I think he's probably heard from all of those people that, what are you talking about? What are you saying? But yes, they definitely, if they're that predictable, they need to figure something out. I mean, this is an offense that was basically the same as last year, and they were first in scoring and second in yards last season, and they can't seem to figure that out for whatever reason. They just haven't been the same offense. And Lamar Jackson hasn't been the same quarterback. And yet Marshall Yanda was really the only big change to the offense. So I don't get why they haven't produced, but that certainly would explain it if people have figured out what they're doing.
It's possible they're just so good and so talented they can get away with some of that, because even if you know what they're doing, good luck stopping it. But it is alarming. And it may cause the Ravens to think twice about setting up these interviews for Lamar Jackson, because you got to be careful the things you put out there. But the bottom line is they know, we know, everyone knows the Ravens have an issue now when it comes to getting these plays sufficiently diversified, the formations changed up, the predictability gone. Otherwise, the defense is going to know what's coming, and then you have a major problem when it comes to trying to move the ball, especially against a great team. And they've got a problem recently, Shireen, with great teams. And it's going to be exacerbated when it's time to try to win in the playoffs, because they're going to have plenty of pressure because they're 0-2 under Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, they're 6-2 right now, Mike, and no doubt headed to the postseason. But does anybody look at them as a Super Bowl contender at this point? I mean, they're third or fourth. When you start ranking those teams that have a chance, they're not one of the top two teams you start talking about. They have to figure this out.
And they've got the Patriots this week, the Titans next week, and then the Steelers on Thanksgiving night. So some challenges coming up for the Baltimore Ravens.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.